Good morning, everyone. This is my first pet memorial service here, and I think it's very interesting that pretty much every temple that I've been to has some kind of pet memorial service. And so, with the temple that I was last assigned at Fresno, the other minister there, Reverend, he had this very beautiful poem that he would read. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's called Rainbow Road, I guess something like that. I heard it for the first time, and I thought, oh, this isn't Mario Kart. Wrong audience. Then, at the temple that I grew up at the Berkeley Buddhist temple, they had a tradition of reading the names of all the pets that had passed away that people would bring their pictures for. And so that was a very interesting tradition because some of the names were pretty funny. So, you know, some of the regular names like Brownie or Blackie or something like that. Then they have more interesting names named after people, like there was a Sheldon Cooper. Yeah, big fans. And then the one that was the favorite that the minister left was, there was this person who had cats, and so he was reading their names, and it was Ugly number 2, But I was thinking about what I could do, and it's very difficult to come up with a meaningful talk, especially something like so sad like this at memorial service. So I went onto the internets where I get all of my information, and I found this story, which many of you have probably heard already or read already. And I don't actually know the source of this story. I was trying to find where exactly it came from, but it is written from the point of view of a veterinarian. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a story time with all of you guys. These glasses do nothing. I always thought it was like a cool effect for people to do when they start reading and they put on glasses. I got LASIK, I used to have really bad eyes. I'll probably get watching, I'll need them later. Anyway, okay, so I am a vet. Imagine I've got the white, what's it called? Coat, lab coat, yes. I've got the lab coat on, maybe like a stethoscope, something. Okay. So, being a veterinarian, I have been called to examine a 10-year-old Irish wolfhound named Belker. The dog's owners, Ron, his wife Lisa, and their little boy Shane, were all very attached to Belker, and they were hoping for a miracle. I examined Belker and found he was dying of cancer. I told the family we couldn't do anything for Belker and offered to perform the euthanasia procedure for the old dog in their home. As we made arrangements, Ron and Lisa told me that they thought it would be good for 6-year-old Shane to observe the procedure. They felt as though Shane might learn something from the experience. The next day, I felt the familiar catch in my throat as Belker's family surrounded me. Shane seemed so calm, petting the old dog for the last time, and I wondered if he understood what was going on. Within a few minutes, Belker slipped away peacefully. The little boy seemed to accept Belker's transition without any difficulty or confusion. We sat together for a while after Belker's death, wondering aloud about the sad fact that animal lives are shorter than human lives. Shane, who had been listening quietly, piped up, "I know why." Startled, we all turned to him. What came out of his mouth next stunned me. I had never heard a more comforting explanation. He said, "People are born so they can learn how to live a good life, like loving everybody all the time and being nice, right?" The 6-year-old continued, "Well, dogs already know how to do that, so they don't have to stay as long." So that was really deep. I was reading halfway through that and I was like, this might have been a bad idea. I started getting choked up too. But I do think that there is something about this story that really is incredible, that sometimes we have this insight from children, right? We always think that wise people are old and they're the one that have all the knowledge, but sometimes we get these really insightful things from the most unexpected places. And so this idea that dogs don't have to be on this earth, and pets in general don't have to be on this earth this long, is because they already know how to live such an incredible life. And it's actually something that we could, as people, look at and see what we can take away from what they're doing. So I was going to put it out to everyone. Did anyone have any suggestions about the behavior that pets have that we could maybe take a lesson from? So I'll go first. I think, we could probably take a lot more naps. My dog's gonna be sleeping all the time. Yes? Yes, don't hold grudges. That's the best. Yeah, like you yell at them for eating something off the ground and then they're sad, but then they're okay. Very good, yes, unconditional.
When they go on walks, even if it's the same route, they're always excited.
Yes, always excited for walks. It seems like, yeah, even if you go around the house like 3 times, they're still so excited just to go out for a walk. What was that? Yes, don't leave them in the car. That's a very important lesson to learn from dogs. Don't leave anything living in the car. Yes. Be more excited to see people. Absolutely. How many of you have gone to see a friend after a long time, and then they just open the door and then walk away? It's always great when you see someone after a long time and you get a big hug and they tell you how much they missed you and everything. Yeah, dogs always seem to be like that, right? Like you open the door after leaving for like an hour to get groceries and they feel like they haven't seen you for a week or something. Bring a song, and in the back for it. Oh, good. Listen, yes. I don't know how good, you must have good dogs. My dogs only listen if I've got some kind of treat in my hand. Yes.
Be grateful for any food that's served to you.
Yes, be very grateful. Yeah, right? How many of you have tried dog food? Wow, more hands went up than yeah. Is it good? It's not that good. But they love it. And anything that they get, anything you give them, they're so happy to have. They're so grateful. And how many of us have had a meal put in front of us and someone spent a lot of time on it and it's just not what we want it. Boiled cabbage, I don't know. And so we don't want it. But dogs, whatever it is, whatever they can get, they're always so happy. They're always so happy to get it. Yes. Be patient. Yes. You also sound like a dog. Oh, yes. Some dogs, I don't know, not all dogs, but some dogs can be very patient. Some dogs are very, very needy. Yes?
You can play a lot more.
Play a lot more, very good. This one probably applies more to the adults than the kids. Because the kids do a good job of playing, but as adults, we forget to play. Our work, our job, everything becomes about seriousness and saving money and everything. But it's very important for us to let go of that, to start to let ourselves play, to enjoy life in that sense. Yes. Yes, very important to be potty trained. We kind of take it for granted that all of us are potty trained, but it's an important lesson all of us have to learn. Have bigger ears, yes. I think someone's talking about the listening, right? Very important for us to listen to our surroundings and the people around us. Yes, live in the now. Show affection more often. Yeah, so our temple and a lot of the members have roots in the Japanese culture, Japanese Americans, and they're very distant as far as even expressing, saying I love you. I don't know how many people have told me, like, yeah, my watch out, you never said I love you. She'd say, you better get going because there's traffic. That's how she would say I love you. Okay, oh yes, in the back. We'll take a couple more. Run around more. Yes, absolutely. I know I need to run around more. I need more exercise for sure. Oh, yes.
Exercise more.
Yes, exercise. Not just running out, but maybe hit some weights or something.
They don't brush their teeth.
Yes, also true. Yeah, my dogs can have some pretty gnarly breath, so also something that we take for granted. We should brush our teeth. Okay. Okay, we'll do one more. Yes. Yes, don't forget about the dog. I think a lot of us, too, we have so much going on in our lives is that we forget. We forget that they need us, that they love us, they need our love. And so, in understanding that we have to pay attention to them, we have to give them the time of our day, recognize that we also have to give the people in our lives that time of day. We have to make that effort, that conscious effort to make people a priority in the things that we're doing. There's so much that we have to do that it's very hard to do it. But, of course, we have to remember to think about the people in our lives. So very good, thank you. Those are all very good, very important lessons that we can learn from dogs. And I think they all point to the same thing, and it's this idea that dogs are very authentic. And within Jodo Shinshu, we're always trying to get to our authentic self. So when you see dogs, you know what you get. If the dog doesn't like you, it'll let you know. If the dog likes you, it'll let you know. No matter what, you can tell what the dog is thinking, even if we can't necessarily understand what they're saying. We know their emotions, we can see it on their face, and they're always their most authentic self. They're never trying to show off, put on a show or something. They're only trying to show what they're feeling inside. And so that is, I think, the greatest lesson for all of us from our pets, is to try to be our most authentic self. And when we start to do that, when we start to express what we truly are feeling inside, then it comes out in all of these lessons that we have been trying to take away from us. Trying to love more, trying to play more, trying to enjoy life more. When we start to be our authentic self, that's when we can really start to be living our truest lives, our most meaningful lives. So I hope everyone, as you remember your pet today, as you go home to your pets that are still here today, try to keep that kind of message in your heart, try to live your most authentic life, and show the most care to your pets and all the loved ones around you. Will you please join me in Vasha? Namo Buddhaya.